The holiday we observe Monday was once known as Decoration Day, its origins dating back to the American Civil War. The earliest known observance took place in Charleston, South Carolina in 1865. Around 250 Union soldiers who died in Confederate custody were buried in unmarked graves. To honor them, recently freed Black residents of Charleston created a proper burial ground, and days later, thousands came to decorate the graves. As we observe this Memorial Day, we turn to a remarkable portrait of the Harlem Hellfighters on display at the Smithsonian Art Museum in Washington. Nancy Chen talked to the artist behind the piece.
You see these 9 strong, beautiful young men looking like superstars.
This is a snapshot of some of the brave men who made up the 369th Infantry Regiment of World War I, that are known as the Harlem Hellfighters. We visited Bisa Butler last summer at our New Jersey studio as she stitched life into her largest portrait quilt. The fabrics carefully chosen to help tell the story of the soldiers.
They're from World War I, and they came right out of Harlem. Most of them were Black and Puerto Rican.
But even in war times, the Harlem Hellfighters couldn't escape racism. Segregation prevented them from serving alongside white U.S. soldiers. It was the French who gave them the opportunity to fight.
The United States, in essence, loaned the soldiers to the French. And it meant a lot for me to be able to portray, not only are these young men fighting for their country, but they fought for their very dignity as men.
The 369th Infantry Unit spent 191 days on the front lines. That's more time in combat than any other American unit. Their bravery mostly forgotten over 100 years later.
Each of the 9 soldiers took a month, so this took 11 months in total. But when you look at the piece and you look at one figure, you're seeing a whole month of my life put into making sure that every detail was accurate.
It jumps out at you, the dignity of the men. They're staring you right in the eye and compelling you to see them for their humanity, to see their American patriotism.
In 1919, the Harlem Hellfighters came back home to a victory parade in New York. And despite their bravery and patriotism, they still faced bigotry and discrimination.
It's a portrait of these men, but it's also a window. And not just a window into the past, but a window into the soul, a window into the real vision of who and what and how African Americans want to be seen in this country.
Last year, the U.S. government awarded the courageous soldiers the Congressional Gold Medal.
Thank you to this body for putting aside partisanship and helping right a centuries-old wrong. It's never too late to do the right thing.
It meant a lot for me to have this piece here at the Renwick, which is right next to the White House, because it's reframing where they belong, and it's giving them the acknowledgement that they should have had.
For CBS Saturday Morning, Nancy Chen, New York.
A beautiful tribute. The Harlem Hellfighters portrait quilt is part of the exhibition This Present Moment, Crafting a Better World, showcasing over 100 artists.